If you think your water broke, here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to put on a pad or a panty liner. Pads and panty liners, they soak up the fluid really well, which is great when you're having a period. But when you think that your water broke, we really want to see what's the quantity, what's the smell, what's the odor. And these, they're not going to help us. Hey there, I'm Alice Turner, a doula and a childbirth educator, and here on my channel I make videos to help you have confidence before the contractions start. Now, one thing that can be super confusing is if you find that you have wet underwear, or if you wake up in the middle of the night and you notice maybe there's some type of wetness puddle type situation going on, you might be questioning whether or not it was your fluid. Now, if you notice a big gush of water, like a water balloon breaking or something that is, a cup of quantity, well, that was your water. There is really no question. If you're seeing a big splashing, dripping, then it's your water, your fluid, your amniotic fluid. But if you don't notice that, which is really surprising that a lot of people are in this case. So if you're in this case, you are not alone. So many times I've had clients call me and say, I'm not sure if my water breaks. So these are the questions that I ask. First, I make sure that they don't put on the pad. Like I said before, what I do recommend is that you put on clean, dry underwear so you can get a good idea about quantity. So clean, dry underwear, also go to the bathroom so that you know your bladder is totally emptied. Now, when we see the fluid, here's what we want to think about. The three things are really amniotic fluid. It might be pee, urine, if you want to be technical, and it might be discharge. As you likely know, discharge actually increases as we go along in our pregnancy. So we see a lot more discharge. So it could fool us and make us think it might be amniotic fluid. The first thing we want to look at is the color of the fluid we're seeing. So amniotic fluid is usually clear. Now it could be a greenish, it could be a brownish color, okay? But usually it is clear. Pee, of course, is likely to be some shade of yellow. If you are super well hydrated, it's going to be less yellow. If you are dehydrated, it's going to be darker. So some shade. And discharge, we're going to see usually as a whitish. It might be clear. It might be sort of a creamy type color. And so if you check the color, you might be able to know right away what you're looking at. But if not, let's talk about the smell. So smell of amniotic fluid might be sweet, might be nothing. The smell of urine, it smells like pee, smells like urine, and it could be nothing, right? Discharge, usually not much smell. So smell, I think if you are smelling pee, then that's a good indication. If you're not smelling anything, you might have to keep looking at the other factors. And then how is it coming out? The thing about amniotic fluid is that usually keeps coming. And here's the big thing here. What I recommend all of my clients do is I say, lay down flat on your bed, on the couch or something with your clean, dry underwear on. Lay there for a little bit and then sit up and stand up and move around a bit. So if it's your amniotic fluid, likely you're going to still see it coming with that change in movement. When you lie down, it gives your body a chance to pool the fluid in your vagina, and baby's head will move away from the cervix a little bit so that it's not corking up the fluid. Then when you move around, the fluid has an ability to come out. So if you see it come out after that lay down, move around period, then very likely it is amniotic fluid. If you don't, if it was just a one-time thing, then it might have just been your pee. It might have been baby kicking your bladder. I know that I've had many clients say that in the middle of the night, they wake up with fluid and then they test, they take, put on dry underwear, walk around, no change. Likely we were sleeping and maybe we just had a little bit of our bladder leak. Don't feel bad if this is you. It is so common. And then discharge, we're not going to see a trickle or dripping of discharge usually, or change of movement. So it's going to be more of a one-time or through the course of the day. We might see it accumulate, but we're not going to see it coming and dripping. Dripping is really more of amniotic fluid, classic dripping. Okay, so amniotic fluid, it's going to be clear, it's going to be not very smelly, it's going to keep coming, and you'll see drips. Pee, one time, yellow, smells like pee. Discharge, we're not going to see those drips, and it's going to accumulate through the day. It's not going to have a change after that movement. Now, at any time, you can go in to your doctor's office or into labor and delivery and say that you think your water broke, and they can test. They put a little test strip in your vagina to get some fluid on the strip to see. It'll change color and it'll indicate whether or not it is your amniotic fluid or not. So don't hesitate to get it checked out by your care provider, and always you can call your care provider and give them more information that you have noticed, and they can let you know whether or not they think you should come in or not. So do not feel bad if you're unsure, if you go into the hospital thinking that your water broke and it didn't. It can be confusing, so you're not alone. So I have a video right here I know you're going to want to check out next. And good luck. Bye.